Okay, let's make this really weird. Hey guys, it's Otto. It's been 4 months since I started playing the violin, and today I've come full circle. I have achieved my goal, the big goal, which was that I want to learn how to play the violin good enough that I can do long bow strokes and the vibrato to layer that on top of my virtual orchestral music. And I did it! I did it! I did it! My goodness. Okay, so it's really cool to have achieved that. And you heard me play on top of my little virtual orchestral piece in the beginning. And that was basically a jam that I was playing on the violin for the longest time, and it was stuck in my head. And I felt that it needed to come out. I know it's just one melody, but I think it's kind of epic. So what I'd like to do in this video is show you new violin techniques that I've learned and break down the Pro Tools session. So let's go. What have I learned on the violin? One thing that I've been really stoked about playing on the violin and figuring out is striking the string. There's probably some kind of official terminology, but what I mean is this. Yeah. Well, there we go. Totally screwed that up. So there's two reasons why that's exciting to me. One is that I get to attack the string and play a note that's ferocious and mean. And the other is that I get to eliminate a little more shaky bow, because very often what happens is that I would start to play a song and the first note that I hit will be really shaky, and it just gives a terrible first impression. So not only attacking the note, but be able to have the first note be unbouncy. So let's emulate that a little bit. I'll play a note or a piece, and here I go, and it's really nice because you can just approach a note with a little more confidence or a little more power. So just, yeah. So because I was able to do that, I thought maybe it's finally time to start learning some spiccato. And what spiccato is kind of like the equivalent of palm muting on the guitar. You have long notes, and then you have those short little chunks. I'm not very good at it yet, but I can do some little tiny bouncing to get that tone. Maybe you guys know what that's from. Other things I've been chipping away at are trying to develop a more consistent vibrato and a little bit of dynamics, as well as power. Something that helps a lot with improving, that many people say, is play slowly. So that's how you analyze everything you're doing as you play and improve on those things. So let's analyze. It was all right. A little bit of shaky bow. Oh, touching the other string a little bit, so fix the bow position a little bit. No pinky vibrato, do more of that. Fix bow position, it's a little too close to the bridge, you start getting harmonics. So just those kinds of things. Those are the things I've been looking at. Let's look at the session. All right, so this is the Pro Tools session. It's called Orchestra Piece without the L. And we have the solo violin first. And keep in mind, this has not been mixed yet. The solo violin was recorded literally 40 minutes ago, and I haven't touched it. What you heard in the video has been mixed, so it's in the future. So I believe the solo violin still has way too much reverb and all this kind of jazz. Mosquito fantasy. What? Then we've got the real violins. So there's 7 tracks, and they're all going through a bus into a real violin aux, and there's a little bit of reverb. So this is what that sounds like. Some of these takes are really bad, so this one I muted from what you just heard. Yeah, that sounds awful. I guess I was a little impatient there. After that, we've got the virtual orchestra. Let's go through these a little bit. There's the violins, violas, celli, basses. Then we've also got some horns as a layer, not very thought out. Then we have the percussions, which is a mix between virtual instruments from Contact as well as longer samples that are real from YouTube. That's a lot of reverb, man. So one thing that's really exciting about this whole thing is that last time I was wondering, should the real violin be recorded as a solo violin, or should it be recorded as many layers of violin that blend in with the orchestra? The cool thing is that I did a little bit of both. So it's really cool to have had both of these experiments at once in a way. All right, so one thing I thought could be really interesting is if I played the virtual orchestra to you first, and then I would punch in the real violins for you to listen what it does to the whole mix. Here's the virtual orchestra. Here are the real violins. Yeah, subtle, but I think it's cool. All right, but that's the session. That's really that. What can I say? I'm just really happy, and I'm not only happy because I've achieved this thing. I'm also happy because I've discovered this new passion, which is the violin. I love playing it. I love having this new thing in my life that gives me a purpose and makes me feel fulfilled. It's a wonderful feeling. And if you have something that you've been itching to try or start in your life, just go do it. Oh man, sounds like a meme that we all know. But I'm being serious though. If there's something that you've always wanted to do and you haven't done it yet, go do it. You know, you might end up being really happy if you do that. So go after your passions. Anyway, honestly, this might be the last violin update video. One reason being is that it feels good to wrap things up at this stage. And the other being, do I want to occupy so much of my content with the violin? Because I do other things as well, as you know. But this all depends on what you guys think. Do you guys like this kind of content? If you like it, I'll do more. So let's wrap this up. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. If you want to click on the bell thing, you can click on the bell thing. And remember this, videos are coming out every Saturday, 8 p.m. finish time. Cat's in the cat box. Bye.